Generally speaking, press releases about new car models make for very uninspiring reading. They're full of nerdy technical jargon and PR speak with painful adjectives explaining how good the product is. But every now and again they have some interesting facts like this one about the Mitsubishi ASX. It says that SUVs account for 10% almost of new car sales in South Africa, and of that, 40% are compact SUVs. Well, now you know why they released that. It's Mitsubishi's attempt to grab a piece of that 40% of the 10% of local sales. The ASX is a crossover type SUV, which means it attempts to be the best of both worlds, the drive of a regular car with the space and capability of a bigger vehicle. There are lots of these on the market already, so competition is tough. So it's a good thing they made it look like this. It just looks like it's ready for anything. They've taken Mitsubishi's front-end styling and grafted it onto a big car, which isn't always successful. Just look at the Porsche Cayenne. Where everything else in this class looks a little bit soft, this looks aggressive. Okay, the colour isn't very aggressive, but there are others. With its massive chrome-framed grille and angry headlights, the Mitsubishi has a face that stands out amongst the competition and immediately gets your attention. Despite the fact that it has space for 5 and a decent boot, the ASX has compact dimensions and a stance that makes it look more sprinter than load carrier. Under the bonnet though, there's an engine that's more suited to a load carrier than a sprinter. There is only one engine option available across the three models, and this is it. A 2-litre 4-cylinder with 110 kilowatts and 197 newton meters. Your gearbox choices are either a 5-speed manual or, if you really want to ruin your day, a CVT. Mitsubishi have positioned that CVT model at the top of the range with some extra spec to go with it, but frankly, rather save yourself 20 grand and go for this middle of the range model. It means you lose out on the Rockford Fosgate sound system, but to be honest, I'd be happier losing out on the use of my left leg than have to drive a CVT. Besides, as manuals go, this one is pretty good. In fact, I'd go so far as to say that the gearbox and engine combination is the best thing about this car. It might have fairly modest figures, but it's got decent low-down torque, and that's all you need for easy town driving. You might guess by looking at it, and the fact that ASX stands for Active Sporty Crossover, that this car has been endowed with some measure of off-road readiness. But besides the slightly higher than normal ride height, this car would be about as capable in the rough stuff as your grandmother in high heels. In fact, for something that's branded as an activity vehicle, it's strangely devoid of any kind of mechanical trickery whatsoever. It's available as a two-wheel drive only. There isn't even an intelligent all-wheel drive system that splits the torque between the front and the rear axles, so you can forget about things like hill descent control and locking rear diffs. Manufacturers like to call these kinds of cars lifestyle vehicles, and the ASX will fit your lifestyle as long as it revolves around shopping centres and avoiding every driving surface on the planet except tar. The ride setup makes this bigger than average sedan feel like a regular car, which makes it easy to maneuver. The steering is a bit on the rubbery side though. But the biggest disappointment of the ASX is on the inside. It's not bad or ultra basic, but it is just a bit behind the times. My first impression was that it looked like a 4-year-old Mazda, and when you look around, everything just seems a little bit dated. Even the colour screen in the instrument cluster is a little more Atari, where the rest of the manufacturers are sort of PlayStation 3. And then there's the spec level. Let's just say that for 300,000 Rand, I'd happily forgo the impressive panoramic roof in favour of something more practical, like cruise control. There is keyless entry in operation as well as a USB port, and that's the complete list of the highlights. The rest, aircon, heated seats, steering wheel mounted audio controls, are all fairly standard. There is good space in here, although that's more a function of pure physical size than clever packaging. For 300,000 Rand, you could buy this car, or you could buy, say, a Nissan Qashqai with a similar engine, a better interior and higher spec. Mitsubishi are keen to tell you that compact SUVs are big business, but their ASX doesn't give you very many compelling reasons to send your business their way, as opposed to the competition. A lively 2-litre engine and 5-speed manual gearbox provide better urge and drivability than expected, while compact dimensions ensure agile road manners. The ASX also looks good, and there's plenty of space in the cabin, but the interior isn't the most imaginative, and all-terrain talent is limited.